So, the childhood dream of becoming an astronaut may soon be replaced by ambitions of reaching internet stardom. That is according to a survey by the Education and Employers charity.
In the biggest survey of its kind, 13,000 UK children were asked to draw what they wanted to be when they grew up. Tim Muffet has been to a primary school in Hackney to see what they sketched.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
I want to be a pilot because it's really fascinating and I can explore the world. Computer engineer.
Standing in the Hall of Fame.
I wanted to be a surgeon since I was small.
Why?
Because I want to help people.
'Cause you're born with the crossfade.
Drawing their future. These pupils at Barham Primary School in Wembley were amongst 13,000 in the UK who took part in a remarkable survey.
We wanted two kids to draw their future aspiration, who they want to become. We wanted to understand what's going on in their heads about, their ideas about the future.
Across the UK, the most popular dream job amongst 7 to 11-year-olds was a sportsman or woman. More than a fifth of children drew them. Followed by a teacher, then a vet, then a job in social media or gaming.
I want to be a games designer because it seems like fun and I play a lot of games and I want to see how they're made.
Some might say this is very young to be thinking about a future career. What do you think?
I think they're never too young, it's never too early. Primary school is the right time for children to be forming good habits. They need a game plan.
One of the main conclusions from this study is that gender stereotyping does begin early. 4 times as many boys chose an engineer as a dream job compared to girls. Twice as many boys drew a picture of a scientist. Why this gender stereotype? Why does it happen at as young as 7?
I think that's when your assumptions and ideas start to shape. The kids who heard the job through their family and friends, so that seems to be the biggest influence basically on their decisions. But those who didn't have the family access, they mainly heard about the jobs on the TV and social media.
This school prides itself on challenging stereotypes and encouraging pupils to think differently.
Rianne's picture really stands out to me, simply because if there were 100 professions that you would say that Rianne would pick, you would never think she would select being in the Navy.
I want to try something new and I thought it would be interesting.
I want them to have the skills and the knowledge and the can-do attitude so that they will be able to apply themselves to the new professions that will be coming through.
Tim Muffet, BBC News.
Well, here to talk about the findings of the study are head teacher Karen Carter and the editor of the Times Educational Supplement, Anne Ross. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Karen, when you talk to children in schools at the moment, how easy is it for them? Because when I was looking at this, I had no clue what I wanted to do when I was 11 to 13. I would have, I suppose, just picked the last thing I saw on TV or something like that as an aspiration. I wouldn't have been guided as far. Is this changing?
Well, our children, when our children took part in this competition, and what they said was very similar to what children said nationally. But I think what's important is not just to talk to children about careers, but to give them opportunities and experiences that they probably wouldn't normally be exposed to or engage in.
Realistic opportunities and experiences? And the reason I ask that is because obviously you often hear, I want to be a successful footballer and have a £180 million transfer fee or a pop star. And you can show them these exist, but not everyone's going to make that.
No. And you do still get, we had a lot of boys who wanted to be footballers. And I think that, that's a dream. But I also think what's important is that you help children to find their passion, what they are good at, what they're interested in, because then they're more likely to make the choices that are right for them.
Do you know what I'm thinking? As we're looking at these pictures, number one, I'm thinking, really great artwork. We ought to do that thing that they used to do on, was it Vision On, where they put the names of the artists do, because they're really good pictures. Can I just ask, I feel obligated to ask, what did you want to do when you were 9 years old?
I wanted to be a teacher.
And there you are, your dream has
Yeah,
come true.
Absolutely.
And may I ask, what did you want to be?
I wanted to be a librarian, which would have been the worst thing for somebody as talkative as me. I'm just far too noisy.
And do you remember how that came about? Why did you want to be a librarian?
Oh, because I love books. So I like
Okay.
going to the library, so I could see a library. I could see what a librarian did. So I thought, well, I'll be that then.
Sometimes at the moment people say, you know, there's an obsession with celebrity, but interestingly, very, very few said, what do you want to be a celebrity? That almost
came
didn't
out
exist.
very, very low, yeah. I mean, it does come down to you want to be what you can see around you. And they see sports people on the TV all the time. You know, we had the 2012 Olympics, which inspired a lot of children. And there's a lot of people that they see all the time, you know, doctors, vets, nurses, teachers. Teachers, the top profession for girls.
Is that right? Teaching is a top profession?
Because that's the one that most girls want to go into.
What about gender stereotypes? We've often spoken about engineering, that sector desperate to get more women in, which it is happening. But are they being broken down? Have you observed that?
No, that was the saddest thing about this survey. I mean, these are primary children, and gender stereotypes are already firmly entrenched, and so we're limiting the careers for both boys and girls. It's not just about the girls. You know, teaching, we need more men.
So, Karen, what do you do to
well.
break that down? What do you do to change that?
Well, you know, our children's responses, the patterns were similar to national, but some of our girls did mention engineering, did mention sports, you know, so we are slowly, I think, exposing and broadening girls particularly.
Feel free
choices.
to push the idea of journalism when you were in school today. It's a potential career.
Not many wanted to do that. It was right down there.
Was it really?
Low, yeah,
Oh,
about 0.1%.
Yes, sorry.
We have Aspirations Week in school every year. And what we do is we work hard to try and find people who have a passion for what they do to come in and engage the children in the type of experiences that they do.
Well, thank you very much for coming to see us this morning. Love to see you.
Chance to get a last brief look at the headlines where you are. We'll see you shortly.